G'day, this is Tony, aka Crypto Aussie, and I am back with another video. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite projects, which is HORDE. Now, there's a few people out there who are calling HORDE a node project, but like so many node projects, there are no actual nodes involved with this. It is really a DeFi as a service protocol, but one with a zombie theme.
The dead will walk the earth and tear the flesh from the living.
So here we are on the HORDE website. Now, what's it all about? Well, essentially it's a staking protocol where you put your money into the HORDE ecosystem and in return, you're paid out rewards. So here's how it works. First thing you got to do is you've got to buy the native token, which is HORDE. And to do that, you go to the dApp. That's what you can click on here, or you got to open up here. And this is their own DEX. It's called Soul Swap, pretty cool. And here you can buy HORDE. Now, because it's on the Binance Smart Chain, then you need BUSD to buy. And you need also a little bit of BNB in your wallet for gas, right? So you can go in here, you can put in the amount of BSD you want to spend, and then that will convert to HORDE, click swap, and your HORDE will go into your wallet. Now, you need to buy 10 HORDE for the minimum investment, which is about $1,000 or 1,000 BUSD. Then you go to the dashboard and you use your HORDE to buy a plot by clicking on this button here, create a plot. Now, each plot costs 10 HORDE. So there's your minimum investment. You can't buy part of a plot. You can only buy a whole plot. As you can see, I've got 3 of them here. Each plot produces 0.1 HORDE per day. And that's paid every day, every 6 hours. So you can see here, each of these plots I put in about 13 days ago, and I've got 1.3, I haven't claimed anything yet. I've got 1.3 rewards or HORDE available for each of those plots for 3.9 in total. Now, you can withdraw your HORDE at any time. You've just got to click on the claim here. You can claim them all at once or each one separately. And that incurs a 10% selling tax. So although they produce 0.1% a day, your claimable return, 1% a day, your claimable return is actually 0.9% per day, 10% per tax. So this 3.9 I've got available here is actually about 3.51, right? So that's essentially how it works. These plots just continue to produce their 0.1 HORDE per day or their 1%, and I can claim those at any time as HORDE into my wallet, which I can then go back here to Soul Swap. And by just clicking this button, swapping them around, I can put in the amount of HORDE I've got and swap it into BUSD. Boom. Now, there is a lot more to this. There's a lot more on the roadmap in particular. They've got a whole lot to come, like a P2E game, which is actually being developed at the moment. They've also announced NFTs that are going to be available. And those NFTs will be able to boost your plot production, so more than 0.1% a day. Sorry, more than 1% a day. I keep getting mixed up between 1% and 0.1 HORDE. It's 1%, 0.1 HORDE. So, but you can boost your plot production above that with an NFT. And you can also get NFTs that will have in-game utility for the P2E game. So all that's still coming down the pipeline. Now, you might think this looks pretty similar to some others, like Drip, for example, just with a bit of a different theme with the zombies. But this one is a little different. So let's dig in a little bit to what makes it different. And the first thing I want to touch on is sustainability. Now, it's always instructive, in my view, to ask where the money comes from to pay out investors. Now, in this case, I've already mentioned the 10% tax on HORDE sales. So you pay a 10% tax every time you sell HORDE. That also incentivizes retention. There's also a fixed max supply of 1,111,111 tokens. That's all there'll ever be. So the limited supply helps to make sure that the price is sustainable and keeps things in check. The HORDE used to buy a plot is also not recoverable. So when you go in here and you click on create a plot and you buy a plot with 10 HORDE, that 10 HORDE is gone. You've bought the plot. You own the plot. So that money is now invested. And of that money, 60% goes into the rewards pool, which can be used to help pay out those rewards. 20% goes to Treasury, which is invested for returns, and the community actually gets to vote on how that's invested. And the remaining 20% goes to marketing and the team, etc. You can't compound the HORDE produced by a plot back into that plot. because all plots are 10 HORDE, they're no bigger, no smaller, and once you got it set up, it's set up, right? You can use your HORDE to buy a brand new plot. So I could wait until the amount claimable here goes up to 10, or actually 11, once you take into account the tax. And then I could claim it and I could buy a new plot then, but I'd have to buy a whole new plot. Also, plots have a limited lifespan. They last 300 days, after which they automatically decay or they're overrun by zombies. Therefore, because the plots have a limited life and you can't compound, each plot can only ever produce 30 HORDE, or 27 HORDE actually after taxes. Then it's dead. That will be impacted a little bit by the NFTs, which will increase the production, but the point is there's a limited production on every plot. And on top of that, the rewards pool and the treasury pool, they'll be further boosted by the NFT sales. So when you buy an NFT, that money will go into the rewards and treasury pool, which will provide further money, essentially, for paying out rewards. The other thing I think is worth pointing out here is this launched, I got in on launch actually, so it's about 13 days ago now. There was no whitelist on launch, and the founders did not take any HORDE or plots for themselves. Now, I've already mentioned they do get a little bit of HORDE from each plot purchase, but otherwise, they've bought their plots and their HORDE on market like everyone else. Now, that's a good sign in my opinion. They're not hoarding a whole lot of the available HORDE and available plots for themselves. They've actually gone on market to buy themselves. So that's essentially the sustainability. If I add all that up together, it seems to me that there's a whole lot of interesting mechanics in there that really are going to underpin sustainability. And if you want to know more about those, they've released the white paper. It's actually they call it the Souls paper. This is it here. This was actually put out prior to the HORDE announcement, and there's a whole lot more information here on how HORDE works, what the tokenomics are, and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to check that out, then feel free to go in and take a look at that. Like most staking or farming protocols, you're paid in the native token, and in this case, it's HORDE. And one of the typical problems with that is that you're subject to price fluctuations in that token. And because often the tokenomics for these projects aren't really set up that well for sustainability, what happens in practice is the team often has to mint new tokens to meet rewards obligations, which increases the supply and pushes the price down. And then on top of that, because people have to sell the token to get their money out, it creates huge selling pressure, which also pushes the price down. And what that means is the price tanks and your returns tank with it. So you get paid the promised returns in the token, but the token ends up being worth very little. But HORDE is doing something different in this space. They have this cool mechanism where they always keep the price between $95 and $105. So it's similar to a stablecoin, just a $100 stablecoin. So how do they do that? Well, because they've got their own DEX, so this is the only place, SolSwap, on their website where you can buy and sell HORDE. That gives them a lot of visibility and control over the liquidity. And what they do is they jump in and when the price drops to $95, they start buying. And when the price rises to $105, they start selling. So by doing that, they exert additional buy or sell pressure and keep the price at a certain level. And if you're wondering how that's been going, let's just jump over to the price here. Here's the HORDE price. There's a $105 level. Down here is the $95 level. And you can see it has been in that range the entire time. Sort of been towards the top of the range most of the time. And I think that's a good sign. It shows that there's plenty of demand for it. But it's been within that range. So they have delivered on their promise so far, 13 days, to keep the price within that range. They've also suggested that the price range will be increased over time to provide additional returns. So you get a little bit more benefit the earlier you get in because you can buy in a lower price range and your rewards will come out at a higher price range. So I think that's hugely, hugely awesome as well. Now, to summarize, the good stuff. There's an impressive return of 0.9% per day, and that's paid in HORDE, but HORDE's being managed like a stable coin, so it's real returns. You can just go straight over here to the DApp, to SolSwap, and you can sell your HORDE for 100 BSD per HORDE each time. So that's awesome. It looks like a pretty well-designed ecosystem. There's no fees other than the sell tax, but there's still high confidence in sustainability. So the combined mechanisms they've put together and the way they've set this up, I think there's a good chance that this is going to last for a decent period of time. And in terms of security, they've got a multi-sig wallet and they've been audited by OnlyUp, passed that audit first time with flying colours, and there's a CertiK audit that's coming down the pipe too. So the security looks solid there. Now, a couple of things to be aware of. When you buy a plot, your principal is gone, similar to Drip Faucet, Drip Garden. Now, understand that this plays a huge role in the sustainability of the protocol, but it also increases the risk because you can't just pull your money out at any time. You've got to wait for it to produce those rewards, so you've got to know that it's going to last that long. I'm quite confident in that, but you've got to do your own research. The team is KYC'd with Assure, but it's not doxed, which means that their real identities are not public knowledge. Now, some people might find that concerning. They do say that they're planning to get doxed, but they haven't yet. So take that for what it is. But overall, I think this is cool, and not just because it's about zombies. As you can see here, I do have 3 plots myself. I've actually got a 4th one with a different wallet. So I'm in. I am thinking of getting another plot before the price rises come along. And I'm also going to look very closely at buying an NFT when they become available to increase my plot returns. I'm pretty happy with the 270% I can get over 300 days already, but I think increasing the plot returns, depending on how much the NFTs cost, could be worth looking at. So should you invest? Well, that is 100% up to you. Now, I do not and will never recommend that you invest in any opportunity mentioned in any of my videos. You've got to remember this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All I'm trying to do is present the information so you can make your own informed decision. And further, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video should be construed as any form of financial advice or recommendation. Crypto is inherently risky and therefore incredibly important that you make responsible decisions, do your own research, and if appropriate, get advice from a trusted and qualified advisor, which is not me. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing my own personal experiences in crypto for your entertainment. So end of the day, it's up to you. I can only tell you what I'm doing. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Make sure you also hit the subscribe button to be notified every time a new video comes up. And I will be updating on HORDE as new things come to light, NFTs, price rises, that sort of stuff. So make sure you smash that subscribe button to be notified when that happens. You can also join my free email list. Now, that's where I provide more regular commentary, tips, information, and offers related to building wealth and generating passive income with crypto. And it's often stuff that is not on this YouTube channel. So I'd strongly recommend doing that if you haven't already. And if you are interested in building wealth and passive income with crypto, the email list is the place to be. And if you want to take it to the next level beyond that, you might also be interested in joining the Sat Stackers Mastermind. And that's where we constantly discuss opportunities like this and many others. Sat Stackers at the end of the day is a small but very supportive group of crypto enthusiasts, including some very, very experienced and connected people who regularly bring us profitable opportunities before anyone else is aware of them. Now, that is a competitive advantage of huge proportions in crypto. So it's been a massive part of my journey to be in the Sat Stackers Mastermind. So I'd heartily recommend that if you are interested in going a bit further. All links for the email list and the Sat Stackers Mastermind are in the description, or you can hit me up in the comments if you want any more info about any of that, ask any questions. I'd love feedback as well. Hit me up. Otherwise, see you next time.